Um, let's read some stories, eh? So we did a poll for what the next book is going to be, and I have ordered said book. I have not yet announced what it is, but I've ordered it. I will tell you it is a book that I have read, but not in many years. I read it a very long time ago, so I will probably be re-experiencing it with you. And as soon as that arrives, we will start it. But until then, we're going to work our way through Grimm's fairy tales because that was also requested by several people. Uh, as I mentioned when I did the first story out of this book, I have a problem with Grimm's fairy tales in that I own multiple copies because I am a nerd. I have something like 4 different versions of Grimm's fairy tales, and I've picked this one because it's edited by Philip Pullman, and the stories are rewritten by Philip Pullman, and it's super nerdy. It has like the tale types and stuff um, at the end of each story, and a little blurb about like how it ties in with other kinds of folklore. So it's a very nerdy version, but it suits me. I won't read all that like nerdy academic nonsense unless people are specifically interested in it. But um, yeah, we've already done Iron Henry, or Iron Heinrich, as it was called in this book. And now we are going to read a tale called The Cat and the Mouse Set Up House. Um, Philip Pullman, for those of you who don't know, is an author in his own right. He wrote The Golden Compass, his Dark Materials, um, which, if you have never read those books, they are well worth reading. They are amazingly beautiful. But he is also a literary critic and a literary academic. So he's my kind of guy. He writes good children's stories and also is a literature nerd. So, yeah, I'm a fan. Um, which is why I have this copy. There is one more copy of Grimm's fairy tales that I require in my life, but I have resisted the urge to buy it because I already have 4 different versions. But it's the one illustrated by Sean Tan. If you don't know who Sean Tan is, he's an Australian writer and illustrator, and his books are just exquisite works of art. They are absolutely beautiful. Um, so if you're looking for a weird and very different to probably anything you've ever seen before kind of book experience, take a look at Sean Tan stuff. Um, it's gorgeous. They're presented as children's books, but they're not really children's books at all. Um, they're great. All right, shall we read The Cat and the Mouse Set Up House? It's quite a short one. It's actually a very short one. Maybe we'll do the other one as well. The next one. What's the next one? It's long. The next one is called The Boy Who Left Home to Find Out About the Shivers. I don't even know if these are actual Grimm's fairy tales or if Philip Pullman just made these up. Oh no, no, it's a legit thing because he has the nerdy bit at the end. All right, here we go. The Cat and the Mouse Set Up House. Once there was a cat who struck up a friendship with a mouse. He went on at such length about the warmth of the affection he felt for her, how kind she was, how prudent, how neatly she twirled her tail, and so on, that the mouse finally agreed to set up house with him. But we must make provision for the winter, said the cat. If we don't, we'll go hungry just when we need food most of all. And a little mouse like you can't go out foraging in the cold. Even if you didn't die of exposure, you'd be sure to get caught in a trap. The mouse thought this advice was excellent, and they put their money together and bought a pot of fat. The next question was where to put it. They discussed the problem at great length, and finally the cat said, You know, I don't think there's anywhere safer than the church. No one would dare to steal anything from there. We can put it under the altar, and we won't touch it till we really need it. So they hid the pot in the church. But it wasn't long before the cat felt a craving for the delicious fat. So he said to the mouse, Oh, by the way, I've been meaning to tell you, my cousin has just given birth to a little boy kitten, white all over with brown spots. Oh, how lovely, said the mouse. Then she wrapped her tail around herself and went to sleep. After that, no one asked the cat to be godfather. Is that right? Oh no, look, we missed a page. Ha ha, my bad. Yes! And they've asked me to be godfather. Do you mind if I leave the housekeeping to you for a day and go and hold them at the font? No, of course not, said the mouse. There's sure to be some nice food afterwards. If you get a tasty mouthful, think of me. I'd love to taste that sweet red christening wine. Of course, the cat's story was a pack of lies. He had no cousin at all, and no one who knew him would dream of asking him to be a godfather. What he did was to go straight to the church, creep under the altar, open the pot of fat, and lick the skin off the top. Then he strolled out as calm as you please and went up to his usual haunt on the rooftops. There he lay in the sun licking his whiskers, and enjoying the memory of the fat. It was evening before he went home. Welcome home, said the mouse. Did you have a nice day? What did they call the child? Top off, said the cat, very coolly inspecting his claws. Top off? That's a strange thing to call a kitten, said the mouse. Is it an old family name? I can't see anything strange about it, said the cat. It's no odder than Crumb Thief, which is what each of your godchildren is called. Not long afterwards the cat felt a yearning for the fat again, and said to the mouse, My dear friend, can I ask a favour? I've been asked to be godfather to another kitten, and since he has a white ring around his throat it would be wrong to refuse. Can you keep house alone once more? I'll be back this evening. The good mouse said yes, she didn't mind at all, and wished the kitten well. The cat set off at once and crept along behind the town wall to the church, where he slunk inside and licked up half the pot of fat. Nothing tastes as good as what you eat by yourself, he thought. When he got home, the house said, And what did they call the child? Half gone, said the cat. Half gone? What sort of name is that? I've never heard of such a thing. I'm sure it's not in the almanac of saints. The fat had tasted so rich and unctuous that the cat's mouth was soon watering again. All good things come in threes, he said to the mouse. What do you think? I've been asked to be godfather yet again. This time the child is totally black. There's not a white hair on his body apart from his paws. That's very rare, you know. It only happens once every few years. You will let me go, won't you? Top off, half gone, said the mouse. Such odd names they have in your family. They make me wonder, they really do. Oh, fiddle-dee-dee, said the cat. You sit indoors from morning till night twiddling your tail, and all kinds of nonsense comes into your head. You ought to get out in the fresh air. Check out this cat gaslighting this mouse. The mouse wasn't sure about that, but while the cat was away she worked hard to clean their house and make everything neat and tidy. Meanwhile the cat was in the church, busily licking out the pot of fat. He had to scoop the very last out of it with his paws, and then he sat there admiring his reflection in the bottom of the pot. Emptying the pot is such sweet sorrow, he thought. It was late at night by the time he waddled home. As soon as he came in, the mouse asked what name had been given the third child. I suppose you won't like this one either, said the cat. They called him All Gone. All gone, cried the mouse. Dear, oh dear. I'm worried about that, honestly I am. I've never seen that name in print. What can it mean? Then she wrapped her tail around herself and went to sleep. After that, no one asked the cat to be godfather, and when the winter arrived and there was no food at all to be found outside, the mouse thought of their pot of delicious fat, safely hidden under the altar in the church. She said, Come on, cat, let's go and find that pot of fat we put away. Think how good it'll taste. Yes, said the cat, you'll enjoy it as much as sticking that dainty little tongue of yours out of the window. So they set out, and when they got to the church the pot was still there, to be sure, but of course it was empty. Oh, 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 said the mouse. I'm beginning to see a pattern here. Now I know what sort of a friend you are. You are no godfather. You came here and guzzled it all up. First top off. Be careful, said the cat. Then half gone. I warn you. Then all, one more word and I'll eat you too. Gone, said the mouse. But it was too late. The cat sprung on her and gobbled her up in a moment. Well, what else did you expect? That's just the sort of thing that happens in the world. Cool.